A table covered with memorabilia, photos, signs, etc. that remind John of his life. Place, Memphis, Tennessee. John McFerren's story.
This is John's story, as told to and remembered by Miss Tita Anntares.
John picks up his old World War II Army jacket, puts it on. Throughout, he finds objects and old photos on the table, such as this. And I'll be referring to other photos throughout the reading.
Thanks for coming today. I was in the Second World War, but this won't be my war story. See, when I come back home, I went to register to vote. And they didn't ask me just to pay a high fee or recite the Declaration or even guess how many jelly beans were in a jar. Or even remember the Constitution by heart. No. They very politely told me if going to war made me forget my place, they'd remind me of high up on a tree way down by the Hatchie River. I took notes from then on. Born in America. My people have been here in America since they brought over by slaves, by slave ships, you know. I signed up to defend my country, and I couldn't vote. See, I risked my life fighting a well-trained fascist army to save democracy. But I couldn't even vote in my own hometown in America.
Rummages around the table, finds a photo of a white jury, tries to write on it, but pencil doesn't work.
When a friend of mine got falsely accused of murder, I desperately wanted to get on the jury. See, but first I had to find a way to vote. See, not even being a veteran gave him a right to vote. So, an all-white jury convicted my friend and sent him off to prison for heavy labor till he died. Why an all-white jury? We couldn't vote, so we couldn't be on juries. I guess I went crazy.
Takes out a pocket knife, whittling the pencil.
So 3 of us piled into an old car, along with the only black lawyer we could find in Western Tennessee, Mr. James Estes, Esquire, driving all the way to Washington, D.C. No money for hotels. So we would take turns sleeping in the car. We pull right up in front of the U.S. Justice Department. You can't afford a parking lot, so we leave a note on the windshield saying we're meeting the U.S. Attorney General. Yep, crazy, right? See, 3 boys who never got to high school because we had to help work at the fields, you know, and a colored lawyer, uppity enough to tell the U.S. Justice Department they better give us back our right to vote we got from emancipation. Totally crazy. Thinking that the United States Attorney General would meet with us. But even crazier, he did meet with us. Even listen to us. Probably that's why they shot him later. See, first his brother John, then King, then Bobby Kennedy. the lawyer for all Americans, a brave and fair man, willing to insist every American gets treated like a first-class citizen. He told us to go home and register people to vote. Says, I'll make sure you can. But they had him in their gun sights. 2 Kennedys and a king. Assassinations, signed, sealed, and delivered by the KKK. Then an X marks the spot. Crazy to think we could get rid of the Jim Crow laws without people getting killed.
Old news headlines and photos of lynchings.
We went home. Must have recruited 3,000 people to register to vote. Most of them with small farms, the poorest of the poor. They showed real courage. Especially people renting their homes, like sharecroppers. See, after the first few registered to vote, they were evicted from their homes. But folks kept registering. Fathers, mothers, long lines waiting in the courthouse to register, knowing they'd be out of their shacks, barred from stores, and worse. A mother took a child to the doctor, and the doctor checked the color registration, said he couldn't treat her baby. People on the registration list couldn't even buy gas. Till I got his trucks and come in the night and some friends. We built a gas station in the dark. Luckily we didn't blow ourselves up or anything. Anyway, me and my friends, we built Tent City. 300 army tents to shelter all the registered voters thrown out of their homes for daring to act like first-class citizens. I got it from a white veteran, but never told a soul who he was. See, the Fayette County White Citizens Council would have run him out of town if they let him live.
Photos of Fayette County African-American citizens in line to register to vote.
Just getting people to register to vote put me in more risk in Tennessee than I was in World War II. Especially when I set up the original Fayette County Civic and Welfare League to get hundreds, thousands to register to vote. Every night, cars filled with white men and rifles circled my home, terrifying my children, my wife, and me. The White Citizens Council tried to kill me several times. You know how I survived? See, those upstanding community leaders planned their kills around their dinner tables. Guess they thought their maids was too stupid or too loyal to warn me. But we were safer after our tent city. See, brought the world press to Fayette County. So they didn't dare kill me then. Not while the news people were watching.
Photos of World War II in the Pacific, men under fire.
Folks asked me how come I knew about the laws and about voting. See, they heard I left 8th grade to help my family earn money. Education's not just inside the school. One night I was in a bunker with a white Memphis lawyer. Japanese shooting at us from hideouts, non-stop. We knew we was going to die. So to keep from shitting our pants, this lawyer talked to me about the law. As soon as I got back home, I went to my Trent buddy's house in Memphis to get us all registered to vote.
photo of a fine old Memphis home.
His colored maid answered the door. I heard her go back in the house and tell my war buddy I was at the door. I heard him say, "John McFerren, I don't know him. Tell him to go away and never come back." So I went away. And I come to the polls every week with hundreds of American citizens trying to register to vote. Thousands scared, white folks half to death. See, Western Tennessee is where they would hide, white folks hide their slaves. You see, they figured they stashed the slaves there during the Civil War. Thought that they'd come back and get us after to beat the Yankees off. That didn't happen.
Help wanted ads are displayed.
But here we were. Anyone sharecropping or renting got evicted for trying to vote. I told people to save their money, buy a house in the city so they could get regular jobs. I was a fool. See, I thought if we left tenant farming, got paying jobs, and bought our own homes, no one could evict us ever again. Lord, I even believed if we won back our voting rights, no one could ever take it away from us again. Now we could vote. But
Newspaper headlines about voting restrictions throughout the country.
white folks still trying to keep us from the polls every which way. Breaking voting machines, and telling people they don't have to wait in line. They can come back on Wednesday. Blocking the way to the polls with police checkpoints. Taking our names off the rolls because some prisoners got a same name and telling us we can't vote. Some say they figured out how to change the votes, how to change the vote count. In the voting stations, in the computers. See, I heard a college student post he could hack into a voting booth from miles away in about 5 minutes.
Pins up photos of young black prisoners.
But they don't need no computers to take away our votes. Like, I can't bear to think about all the young black men and some women thrown into jail for doing stuff with drugs that gets white kids slapped on the head or a trip to rehab. If you have enough marijuana in your pocket, bang, into the jail. And when you come out, you got your very own Jim Crow life. You can't vote. Your felony conviction scares jobs away. You can't even live in public housing. See, back in the day, I was a damn fool, thinking if we got the vote, we'd be first-class citizens. And white folks was thinking if we got the vote, we'd be treating them like as bad as they treated us. Ignorant fools.
Headline news about the financial crash of 2008.
But then, in 2008, financial world crashed, and this time we had the banks evicting us, not the White Citizens Council. Families with their own homes lost their jobs just when the banks raised interest rates. No one could pay. Bankers told us they'd handle the paperwork for us. But now they preach that home buyers for not reading the tiny warning somewhere down deep in the mortgage papers. Chop up our mortgages to sell new type of investments. Set up automatic robo-banks to foreclose and evict. Then comes the miracle of 2009. The whole nation was hoping a black man would clean up the mess to save the country.
Pulls up photo of a bomb.
Never thought I'd see a black president in my life. Watched the inauguration on TV like some dream. See, early in this campaign, some of our own people started bitching, like saying, oh, he's half white. He's not a real black man. He never suffered like we did. He was raised by his white mama and 2 white grandparents in Kansas. But they finally shut up and came out to vote for him. Shut up in big numbers, too. That didn't matter how hard some white people tried to rig the 2008 election. Like they rigged the election in 2004 before. I could hear the joyful weeping of American slaves and assassinated freedom fighters when Obama won.
Headline of Obama's victory.
And then he won again. Second election in 2012 proved the first one in 2008 was a real vote. But we screwed him in 2010 midterms. Us and a lot of white people who voted for Obama. We didn't have his back in those midterm elections. We got angry at Obama for bailing out the banks and not helping the families being evicted. But hey, look how hard he had to work to get us some health care. And Obama couldn't do it everything at once, you see. He had to work with the Wall Street guys, and the whole world would have been ruined. And he had to stay alive.
FBI graph showing huge increase in assassination attempts after Obama's election.
Anyone who stayed home in 2010 gave the Tea Party to us. See, they voted against everything Obama wanted, even if he promised a law that the Republicans used to want. How did he stop from going crazy? Somehow, he stayed gracious, fair, compassionate. See, these days, white racists can't throw us out of our homes for trying to vote or lynch us. See, they got tricky ways. Redistricted. Some white folks would rather die than live in a black neighborhood. But they sure figured out how white and black can live in the same voting district. Rigging it both ways. Live in a white-only neighborhood but vote together with black districts. I'm sorry. I talked your ears off, and my time is up. And I won't ask you a personal question about your own voting. But to finish up, how many of you are making sure that all your friends and family and neighbors register to vote? And then vote no matter who tries to stop you or how. For those of you voters out there, thanks for listening to my story. Make sure your friends and family are registered to vote and they vote. But if you're not registered to vote, voting and encouraging others to vote. Remember that I wasn't the only person to risk my life and my family's lives to win us back the right to vote, to be first-class citizens. Many died. Some covered in the news, some hanging quietly in trees, or some down riverbeds. Next election, if you don't feel like registering to vote, or if you feel like you don't have time to vote, think about it this way. Suppose somebody, one of those polling places, told you that they can get you a free sports car, or anything you wanted. But in order to get it, you have to register. And you have to be there at a specific time. You think you found a way?